Hello, we're back in episode 59. I said we'd be talking about the port of Invader to the ZX Spectrum, programmed in C using the z88dk, or development kit, and Notepad++ for our editor. Let's take a look at our code. Each sprite is in its own .asm file that is attached during compile. The data includes a mask in order to handle the transparent part of the sprite. Here's the sprite image data, and here's the mask. It's an inverse copy of the image data. Let's compile and run it to see it in action. We can run this batch file that I created. And it will create a tape file that we can drag and drop for the Fuse emulator. And there it is running in the emulator. It's not very fast. I'm going to have to learn assembly on the ZX Spectrum in order to get any kind of speed out of this. But it's working. Now we'll check it out on our The Spectrum. I don't own a real ZX Spectrum. I bought one on eBay a while back, but I could never get it to work on my NTSC TV here in the States. I have my .tape file on a USB drive plugged into the back of the machine. So let's fire it up and see what happens. As an added bonus, I'd like to show you a game that I started to work on in Pico 8. I'm calling it Surviving Mars. These are some of the sprites, and this is my tile map. It's 2x2 full screens on the Pico 8, so 256 by 256. We'll go ahead and run it. And it says in Surviving Mars, you start with one lander. This is your lander up here in the left-hand corner. And there's 3 more spots for 3 more landers. In Surviving Mars, you start with one lander, 30 materials, and 4 crew members. To begin, you must generate the basic necessities needed for survival. This is level 1. Oxygen, water, food, and shelter. So we'll go ahead and press our button so we can move the cursor around. And you can see that this will go down to 2 full screens and 2 full screens over. And it moves on a 16 by 16 pixel boundary right now. You can't place things on top of here because those are designated for landers. So the first thing we might want to do is build power. So we can put down a solar panel. On a solar panel, if we go to our help menu, one structure, oxygen, water, food, or shelter, etc., supports up to 4 people. One solar panel supports up to 2 structures. One research structure supports 1 research goal, and each building costs 5 materials to build. So when I built that, I started with 30 materials. When I built the solar panel, I used 5 materials in building it. So now I can also build myself an oxygen station. And you'll see a little countdown clock on it. If I try to build something else while that is building, in other words, like a water supply structure, it'll tell me it's still building. Once it's finished, I can build it. But now if I try to build another structure, say, a greenhouse, it's going to tell me it needs more power because one solar panel can support two structures. So I have to build another solar panel in order to support the two more structures. Now you can see my materials are down to 10. My power is up to 4. My population's at 4. So now what I have to do is build a greenhouse and a shelter. And once that's finished, I would have met the requirements for the first level. This is sort of a training level. So now if I go into the goals screen, you can see that I've met all my requirements. These would be different requirements that you may eventually end up having to meet. So enough oxygen in this level for 4 people, water for 4, food for 4, shelter for 4, and make sure that their health is up to 100%. We haven't built a medical facility yet, but that comes later, and then also research facility. And eventually you may have to build comms. So anyhow, that's just a kind of a first look at my Surviving Mars game that I'm working on for Pico 8. Let me know what you think. If you haven't checked out my other videos, I'll leave a link in the description where you can find them. This video brings me up to 60 episodes in total. So, next episode I will be showing a port of Invader to the PC with nodes using the Orchestrator plugin and Godot. That about wraps up episode 60 of my journey in game programming. Please like and subscribe and leave any comments or suggestions you may have that could make these a better experience. Until then, bye. I'll talk to you next time.